Hey folks, Tito here with the Bengals Blitz. Thanks so much for tuning in. Go to the new website, fanstreamsports.com. Lots of great new content on there. Like, listen, subscribe to all your podcasts, all of our ones. You can find them anywhere you get your podcasts. Bengals last night. Wow. 33-31 win over Pittsburgh. And it's a game that has completely changed the tone of the season for both teams. Pittsburgh came in as a 5.5-point favorite. And Aaron Rodgers played pretty well again this game, but nonetheless, the Steelers' defense got torched by a Bengals offense that hasn't looked very good most of the season. Now, even they had Burrow, didn't look very good. But the last game and a half, if you look at the second half of the Green Bay game for Joe Flacco and this way the Bengals offense was going, and then this entire game against a very, very good Steelers defense, pretty damn impressive. We'll talk first about how it changes things. Think if the Steelers win this game. They go to 5-1. Bengals dropped to 2-4. Ravens are already 1-5, and the Browns are, the Browns are eliminated every year in September anyway, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, instead of 5-1 Pittsburgh and 2-4, right? Would that be 2-4? Yeah, 2-5 Cincinnati. It'd be 5-1 Pittsburgh and 2-5 Cincinnati. Cincinnati's now 3-4. Steelers now 4-2. A lot closer race now. It's a game and a half difference between the two, and they get to play again. And now the Steelers have lost the Bengals in their first head-to-head matchup. That's very important going down the stretch. We start looking at tiebreakers. The Steelers had a chance to really separate themselves from the rest of the AFC North, and now it's the Bengals that have separated themselves a little bit from Baltimore and still in contention now based on what Joe Flacco did. Joe Flacco yesterday, 31-47, 342, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, a QB rating of 108.6. Jamar Chase was targeted 23 times. An amazing number. Caught 16 passes, 161 yards. Even T. Higgins with the 6 for 96 got involved in the action as well. It's the best the Bengals passing game has looked all season. That includes the time with Burrow. It was the best the Bengals passing game has looked all season, and it's with 40-year-old Joe Flacco out there. Chase Brown finally got it going. My God, Chase Brown, about time, especially fantasy football owners. That's a whole other subject. But Chase Brown, 11 carries, 108 yards in the game, had a long of 37, averaged almost 10 yards a carry. That's the Chase Brown that Cincinnati's needed all year long. Maybe this will get them going. By the way, also fantasy owners, Chase Brown had -8 receiving yards. That's kind of a downside. Nonetheless, let's look at the positives, though. This Bengals offense being able to put up 33 points on the Steelers, coming through at the end when they needed to, and the way that Joe Flacco was able to utilize his offensive weapons. This Steelers defense is really good. It's a really good defense. And sure, the offense still scored 31 in Cincinnati, but the fact that the Bengals could score 31 in this game against Pittsburgh is nothing short of amazing, especially without Trey Hendrickson. Think about that. Trey Hendrickson doesn't play. This game was chalk marked for a loss. It was going to be a loss for the Bengals, and their season would have been in even more dire straits. But now they're sitting where they're at. You know, I got to believe that more of a possibility now that Burrow will come back for a late stretch run if Flacco can keep them afloat. I did not see this coming from Joe Flacco. And I wonder how Browns fans feel about this. I don't think the Browns thought they were going to win many games this year anyway. But if Flacco can do this with the Bengals, who have a worse offensive line, I think, than the Browns. They're pretty close. More weapons with the Bengals for sure. But the fact that Flacco can do this, and the Browns are sitting there with Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders and no hope as far as winning many games this season, that's a huge win for the Bengals. And the fact it comes with a former Brown quarterbacking them makes it even sweeter, I got to believe, for Bengals fans. I've never really thought of this whole Bengals-Browns thing as a huge rivalry. I know it's for the state of Ohio, but it doesn't seem like there's been many times in recent memory where they've both been good. Not many. Not consistently good. There's been years, certainly. Yes, there were years, the Bernie and Boomer years and things like that. There were years when they both had decent teams and the games really did mean something, but it always felt to me like the Bengals and Browns rivalry didn't really have that kind of vibe to it where it's such a huge deal. Even when I was a Browns fan growing up, it didn't seem that important to me. I was more worried about the Browns and Steelers. And I don't know if the Bengals, this is still the Steelers and or the Browns and Oilers or the Bengals. It just seemed to me like the Browns-Bengals never really took off for me. Other news for the Bengals is now now the Bengals get the break. The fact they get to play a Thursday night game at home, it makes the break feel even better. Their next game is a game against the Jets. They're hosting the Jets, winnable game. Hosting the Bears, winnable game. Week off and at the Steelers. If they can win these next two, Win the next 2, get to 5-4, and then go to play Pittsburgh. It'll be a tough game in Pittsburgh, but watch out with this team. One of the other things that happened in this Bengals game was that they benched. It was a healthy scratch for Cam Taylor-Britt. And Cam Taylor-Britt, their cornerback, who was a 2022 second-round pick, he's been in and out of lineup sometimes. They've pulled him out of games before, but they are hoping, they said that this is what defensive coordinator Al Golden said, I would love nothing more for him to respond and go on a great run here. I enjoy being around Cam. I really want the best for him, and I really hope that he has an opportunity here to really turn the page and come out of this thing really, really good here over the next half of the season. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reallys in that statement by Al Golden. Just a side note on that one. Yeah, if Cam Taylor-Britt can play to his potential, that would be a huge boost for this defense because they don't have great depth. And they need Hendrickson back, but they also need to have depth elsewhere, people they can rely on. And so they've got time now. Taylor-Britt's got some time to maybe get back in the good graces and show some things to Golden and to the staff that he needs to show them to get ready to get back into the mix with this Bengals defense. Again, look, 2 winnable games, Jets and Bears, both in Cincinnati. Win both of those, get to 5-4, get the bye week, and then you get Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. Who knows what happens at that point? All right, folks, that's it for the Bengals Blitz. FanStreamSports.com, the place to go. Check out all of our great new shows we have. The stuff we're adding all the time. You can follow me on Twitter @ThatHappens. Would love to hear from you. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the long break for the Bengals.